At night they would go walking till the breaking.
Hi, it's Ebony again. Thank you for checking in on my newest plant haul. There are these very small clay pots that I ordered from Amazon. These are 2 inches, I believe. Actually meant only to order these. Yeah, actually I only meant to order these. I had ordered some other ones and I changed the order, but I ended up with both of them. So these are 2 inches. I think I have some pots that maybe are 1 inch. I don't know. And then I also have a set of 16 of these. They're 3 inches. Someone viewed my Hoya collection video and told me that I had over potted a couple of my Hoyas. So I actually need to go through and repot again, only this time I need to pot down for some of my Hoyas because and I really appreciated them reaching out to me to let me know as well. So I'm gonna work on that probably at some point this week. I don't know, I have to hurry up and do it because it's the end of the summer. And what I also ordered are, this is 120 flower pot hole drainage mess hole screens, and basically these are just the little screens you get for the bottom of your pots. I have been using a little piece of yellow screening, and it was kind of just annoying because every time I used it I had to cut it, and then it was unraveling because the thread was very thin. So I've been using this for the past couple of weeks, and these are really nice. And I'll leave the information on Amazon where I purchased all this stuff too, just in case there's something you want to pick up. Moving on. This is going to be my first plant on my new and Noteworthy because long story short, I repotted some really large Dieffenbachia for a friend of mine, and one of them actually just snapped all over the place. And so I took a section of the stem from her plant and put it in soil, and I've had this outside and I've been watering it all throughout the summer. And I was actually going to throw this away because I thought it was just dead, when I realized it had roots and it was growing. And so these 2 little pieces are all that are left from a bunch of, I think it was about 6 smaller pieces, and only these 2 didn't rot and actually are growing. So this is a very special plant to me just because it reminds me of my friend. And this one here, this is just purple heart vine, Tradescantia. But it's noteworthy because I had a really small pot at the beginning of summer, and now I have a huge pot in my yard. I also have some put down in my flower bed, a really big section. I've given it out to a lot of people. I do need to clean this thoroughly, which you can probably tell. And then I'm actually just going to grow this indoor for the rest of the year. Because unlike last year, I put some down outside and it didn't come back. So this year I decided, okay, once it starts to cool down a bit, I'm just going to keep it indoors. And I like it. Alright. And this is my first new plant purchase. This is a variegated pothos. I ordered one vine from Etsy. As you can see, it's very, very variegated. It's really large. The roots grow very aggressively. It actually reminds me a bit of a Monstera, and I just decided, instead of trying to keep it as one vine, I just cut it up and ended up with this one pot. And I know it looks kind of crazy, but if you can zoom in, it's growing really quickly already. There are a lot of points of new growth on it, and so I'm really happy because I know it's going to fill in and it'll look great soon. All right, let me show you my most disappointing plant purchase. I ordered this black pagoda zebra vine from a seller on Etsy. It looks really bad. This is the best of it. I waited a few days. When it came, it looked like it was practically dead. I watered it and it didn't help it, so I ended up just cutting it up and deciding to just go for it. I cut all the roots off, cut it into smaller pieces, cut off all the limp leaves, and I used rooting hormones and potted this. And I've had it sitting outside. I just brought it inside where it'll stay for the rest of the year. And this is only about half of the plant. The other half, I used rooting hormone, potted it, and I put it in my humidity chamber, and it just wilted and shriveled up and died. So this is definitely the most disappointing thing that I've purchased in a long time. I've never actually had a plant go into that much shock just coming to stay with me. So I don't know if it's just the type of plant, but I'm just gonna see, because it is still alive. There are some leaves that are firm, but it's so disappointing. It's so disappointing, and it's not the seller's fault. The plant just really went into extreme shock. So that's what that is. The next one that's looking a little bit sad. This is a molten lava Colocasia. It's looking a little bit sad. It's starting to get some color. It's grown a bit. Since I received it, it was just two stems, and now there's a little bit of action going on. The thing about Colocasia that I always do wrong, I think, if I see a leaf start to shrivel up, I immediately cut it off. But I think that they more or less need to keep the leaf on and then kind of just fall apart naturally. So that's what I'm going to start doing with this one. But yeah, I'll show a picture of what it should look like. And you can see this one leaf is actually starting to get some color on it. So it's a little sad, but we'll see. I'm hoping that it works out because it's a beautiful plant. Similar. I went back to the this nursery near my home, and they have some decent plants. They're not very friendly, but I guess that's just part of it. And anyway, I purchased this plant. It's a philodendron. I'm not sure what kind it is because, of course, alright, so anyway, this is some kind of philodendron, and a couple of months ago, I bought the philodendron moonlight and killed him immediately. So I'm hoping that this time I won't make the same mistakes. So I haven't been really well draining soil, and the stem is so thick. I'm just kind of trying to treat him like a succulent. And also, I noticed that this plant has 2 separate stems in here, and I'm of course very tempted to separate them and then have 2 of these, but I decided to just kind of leave it alone. But it's a beautiful plant. I'm not exactly sure which one it is, so I mean, I guess I'll figure it out eventually. But yeah, I really like it, and so far so good. So yeah. I purchased this giant golden pothos, and I'm very excited about this purchase. This was at Home Depot for what, $14.99? $14.99. And I'm trying to resist the urge to break it apart and make like a million of them for now. I just really thought it was beautiful, and I don't have that many large plants because I usually buy them pretty small, so I just thought it would be nice to have this one, and I know I'm going to know how to take care of it really well. But yeah, it's also beautiful. It does look similar to my variegated pothos, but I feel like with this variegated one, the color on it, it's just so much color on it. So I'm pretty sure that this one would beat that type of contest. But yeah, they're both beautiful, and I'm excited to see them both grow. So all right, and this one, I purchased this plant months ago, well, last year sometime, and I ended up cutting it up and selling it off and giving it away. And I didn't want to own it myself because I like to be unique, but I decided I actually would like one of these now, so I bought this. I broke down and purchased another Monstera, and I ordered this one from Amazon. I think it was like $15. It came in good shape. Just a few of the leaves were, well, there was a little bit of shipping damage, and this one is really juvenile, so I can't really, I was trying to separate it so I could give some to a friend of mine, but it would be kind of hard to do it right now. None of the leaves are split. This is only damage from shipping. I ordered from Etsy. Let me check the name on this one. This one is Callisia repens Bianca. This is and this is a lace flower. It's a very beautiful plant. I received 5 cuttings from a seller on Etsy to my Hoya collection. Ta-da! This is a Hoya macrophylla variegata. Is very unique. It definitely doesn't remind me too much of any of my other Hoyas, and I want them all to have their own little special thing. I ordered this cutting from a seller on Etsy, and I felt like it was a good price. Anyway, this is the last plant, so that's it. Yeah. So, I guess I did pretty good with my no-buy. And, thanks for checking in, and I will see you guys later. Bye.